Have you ever pondered about the New World Order? It's a phrase that has been whispered in hushed tones, debated in dimly lit rooms, and splashed across internet forums. The New World Order, a concept shrouded in mystery, clouded by conspiracy theories, and steeped in intrigue. Is it a sinister plot for global domination, or a benign plan for peace and prosperity? Are we pawns in a grand game, or are we the players? Join us as we delve into the origins and development of this intriguing concept. The concept of a New World Order is not as new as you might think. Its seeds were sown back in the aftermath of World War I, a time of great turmoil and change, a time when nations were seeking a path to lasting peace. This period marked the birth of the League of Nations, the predecessor of the United Nations. The League was the first international organization whose principal mission was to maintain world peace. Its primary goals included preventing wars through collective security and disarmament, and settling international disputes through negotiation and arbitration. The League represented an early vision of a new world order, where the community of nations would cooperate to maintain peace and stability. It was an idea that was both revolutionary and hopeful, a dream of a world where the horrors of war could be prevented through international cooperation. But dreams, as we know, can be elusive. The League, despite its lofty goals, was unable to prevent the slide towards the Second World War. The failure of the League to maintain peace was a stark reminder that good intentions alone are not enough. Yet the concept of a New World Order didn't die with the League of Nations. Instead, it evolved. The end of World War II saw the creation of the United Nations, an organization that embodied the same ideals of international cooperation and peacekeeping. The term New World Order was popularized in the 20th century by political leaders such as Winston Churchill and George H.W. Bush. They used it to describe their hopes for a world where nations work together to solve problems and prevent conflicts. The New World Order was thus born out of a desire for peace, a longing for a world where nations cooperate rather than compete, where dialogue replaces conflict, and where the common good is prioritized over narrow national interests. So, the New World Order began as a vision of a peaceful world. But how did we reach where we are today? As time marched on, so did the idea of the New World Order. As we meandered through the 20th century, this concept evolved, adapted, and took on new meanings, forever shaped by the world's shifting political and cultural landscape. During the early part of the century, the New World Order was largely associated with the rise of internationalism, embodied by entities like the League of Nations. This was an era when nations began to recognize the importance of global cooperation, of working together to maintain peace and stability. But as we moved into the middle of the century, the world was gripped by the Cold War. The New World Order took on a different shade, as it became a battlefield of ideologies. The East and the West, communism versus capitalism, each side presenting its own vision of a global order. The New World Order was no longer just about cooperation. It was about supremacy, about which ideology would shape the world. Then came the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of the Cold War, and the dawn of globalization. The world was shrinking, thanks to technology and the internet. The New World Order was again transformed. It was now about the rise of multinational corporations, the spread of Western democracy, and the global economy. It was about a world more connected than ever before, but also more complex. Through all these changes, the New World Order has been an ever-present idea, a vision of a world united under a common governance. It's been a beacon for some, a menace for others. It's been used to justify wars, to champion peace, to promote globalism, and to warn against the loss of national sovereignty. The New World Order has been redefined multiple times, but its essence remains the same: a unified global governance. It is a concept that continues to evolve, to adapt to our changing world, forever tied to our collective hopes and fears about the future. In the 21st century, the New World Order has taken on a whole new meaning. The term, once shrouded in the fog of conspiracy theories, has now become a topic of intense discussion and analysis. Today, the New World Order is largely seen as an agenda driven by powerful entities seeking to control the world's affairs. Let's delve into this a bit more. The New World Order, as it is understood today, is not a single organization or a concrete entity. Instead, it's often described as a complex network of influential groups and individuals, ranging from international banking families to global political leaders, all working together towards a common goal: to shape the future of the world. This is not about domination in the traditional sense, but rather about steering the direction of societies, economies, and cultures across the globe. These entities, many argue, use their influence to set global policies, manipulate economies, and even control the flow of information. They work behind the scenes, subtly shaping our world to fit their vision. Some say the New World Order is responsible for many of the major events and trends we've seen in recent history. From the rise of globalism to the technological revolution, all are seen as part of this grand design. But who are these entities? Well, that's where the speculation comes in. Some point to international organizations like the United Nations or the World Bank. Others suggest it's the world's wealthiest families or the most influential multinational corporations. Then there are those who believe it's a combination of all these and more. Of course, it's important to remember that much of this is based on theories and conjecture. Concrete evidence is hard to come by, and the truth, as always, is likely somewhere in between the extremes. The New World Order today is a subject of much debate and speculation. Let's summarize what we've learned. We're looking at a perceived global agenda, driven by powerful entities, with the intent of influencing world affairs. But the specifics, well, they remain a mystery, wrapped in intrigue and shrouded in the shadows of power. So, what have we unearthed about the New World Order? In essence, we've traced a journey that starts from a seed of an idea to a concept that has evolved significantly over time. The notion of a New World Order has its roots in the aftermath of world conflicts, when nations sought a new way to maintain peace and stability. This idea was not stagnant, but rather, it evolved and adapted to the changing times and political climate. Over time, this concept has grown into something far more complex and multifaceted. Today, the New World Order is perceived as an intricate web of global institutions, organizations, and powerful individuals aiming to shape the world according to their vision. It's seen as a force that influences political, economic, and social structures on a global scale. Throughout this journey, we've encountered various interpretations and theories about the nature and purpose of the New World Order. Some view it as a necessary evolution towards a more unified and peaceful world. Others, however, see it as a potential threat to individual freedoms and national sovereignty. This concept, shrouded in controversy and mystery, continues to be a topic of intense debate and speculation. It's a narrative that intertwines history, politics, and conspiracy, making it a fascinating subject to delve into. We've traced the journey of the New World Order, but what does this mean for the average person? The New World Order, whether real or imagined, has significant implications for all of us. It's a topic that stirs emotions and sparks debates across the globe. But what does it mean for the average Joe or Jane? What could be the impact of this so-called unified global governance on the common man? On the bright side, a unified global government could mean a more efficient and effective response to global crises. Think about it. In the face of a pandemic, a global response could be coordinated and swift, potentially saving millions of lives. It could also mean a fair distribution of resources, ensuring that every person on this planet has access to basic necessities like food, clean water, and healthcare. On the flip side, the New World Order could also mean a loss of national identity and sovereignty. It could mean decisions being made by a handful of people, far removed from the realities of the common man. It could mean a world where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Moreover, a global governance might lead to a uniform culture, potentially eroding the rich tapestry of diversity that makes our world so fascinating. It could mean a one-size-fits-all approach to laws and regulations, which might not always be in the best interest of everyone. And let's not forget about the potential for abuse of power. With a single global entity in control, there's a risk of tyranny and oppression. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But then again, these are all hypotheticals. The New World Order, as we understand it, is still a theory, a concept that's yet to be fully realized. And like all theories, it has its proponents and its detractors. Whether you believe in the New World Order or not, its concept certainly gives us food for thought about the world we live in and our place within it.